1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. However helps you, I am not a professional dance instructor, you guys know that. Just try my best. Hey guys, we're back for another dance video. I know that you guys had fun doing cumbia, so today we're going to try a little bit of salsa. Again, there are lots of different places that dance salsa. It, I think, is kind of a universal in every Spanish-speaking culture, but they may have slightly different ways of doing it. So I'm just going to do what I've learned, what I've gone out and danced in different cultures and in cultural settings. So yeah, I hope you have fun. Again, be in comfortable clothing. Make sure we're dancing respectfully and beautifully. And remember why we're doing this, just to learn how to be culturally competent and to enter into other cultural settings with just a little bit of knowledge while we continue to learn. All right, here we go. So for salsa, again, the parts are danced basically the same way, just who goes forward on the right or on the left first changes. So generally the follower or the woman will go backwards on the right first, and the gentleman will go forwards on the left first. So we'll do both parts, and you can participate with both parts, and then depending on what you dance, if you dance with someone at some point, you can either be follower or lead and go accordingly, okay? So we will do the follower part first, traditionally danced by the woman. So she goes back on the right. So your right foot is just gonna go back. You kind of shift your weight back, and then you bring it back in. So right back in, and then your left foot's gonna go forward. So left forward and in. This is a paso básico, a basic step of salsa. So your counts are gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you see I add a little bit of hip movement kind of in here? You have to make it more fluid. So don't kind of be focusing on your weight shifting so much as like the fluidity of the movement. You can add in a little bit of hip there, again, being respectful, but cool. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Paso básico. The lead or the gentleman will do the exact same moves, but just starting on a different foot. So for the gentleman part, I'll dance it this way so you can kind of see. So you're gonna go forward with your left, and then in, back with your right, and then in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How we do? We good? Okay, so let's just do a little bit of this paso básico back and forwards. And I'll try and find some copyright-free music to put behind us. Okay, you ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now you might be wondering what to do with your hands. Again, if you're dancing with someone, your hands will be occupied because you'll be holding someone's hands or doing turns, etc. When you're dancing by yourself, you just be loose and free. Do not have them here necessarily. Do not be stiff with your hands. Mine generally end up like right here. I guess because I'm just so used to having other hands when you're dancing, like they're just like in this position of being ready to have someone else's hand and do turns. So mine just kind of end up here. That might be a good practice to have. All right, so let's try another paso básico, another basic step for salsa. So instead of going forward and backward, we can go side to side. The lead is technically going to determine when things change. So you might start with this, and then you might move to this. You are just gonna, as a follower, you are going to follow which side they start with, etc. But my general inclination as a lady, again, is to start to the right, and the gentleman will be on the left. So we'll go through transitions, but just right now, we're gonna start with a simple paso básico, left and right. Okay, so the counting would be the same. Instead of going back, you're just gonna take a small step to the side, shift your weight over, again, you do a little hip movement, and then back in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's about it. So let's try that all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is also how I count for this dance, or at least how it makes sense in my head translating it to you. If someone else counts differently, the steps will look the same and the beat should be the same in the music. But why don't we start by going to the left too, so you can practice on that side. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's about it. Awesome. The quote-unquote fun part of this is going to be putting together the different steps into a smooth transition. So you can go from back to front, to side without stopping. It all really depends on counting and being on the right foot. So I'm going to mimic what I just did. I'm going to repeat what I just did for you, but more slowly, and I'll explain it along the way. So if I start back, 2, 3, 4, I'm ready to start something new. So I can go kind of halfway or wait for a full 8 count. If I want to break it up in between, it's okay, but it's kind of easier to complete something at least half or completely. Complete something completely. Okay, you know what I mean. All right, so we're gonna go back, in, front, together, ready for something new, switch to the side. So, do you see the weight on my foot? Ignore the siren, just the siren in my tongue, it's okay. So, back on the right, together, forward on the left, together. This foot is ready to do something different. It would have been really hard to do left and then left. It's just a matter of shifting weight. So this foot was, once we returned, it was kind of like, it's this foot's turn. It was like a pattern of right, left, left. Okay, and this is how I kind of dance salsa. It's much easier to follow patterns and keep time this way. Okay, so let's say we did back, front, side, side. Now that we're back here, again, we can do whatever we want to start over. The lead is gonna pick. So we could go back, front, or we could continue side to side. Remember, the counting is gonna stay the same. So watch this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We did a full 8 count, but 2 different moves put together. Okay, so let's keep going. Can we try putting this to music? You are welcome to do any combination of these moves that you like. Again, just be safe and respectful. And keep time to the music. Let's try it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna try and learn a turn. We're all gonna do the follower for this part. It is hard to explain the lead part, number 1, because I rarely dance the lead. And number 2, to explain the lead part, it's better to have a follower to explain like what the lead is doing. So anyway, we're all dancing by ourselves, so we're all being the follower. So this part is sort of gonna mimic a paso básico going back and front. So we're gonna go back with our right and then step in. But instead of our left doing this up and back movement, it's gonna go up farther, turn all the way around and come back in, which is really hard to do in slow motion. It looks better a little faster, so let me try. So front, back, quick, in. And then, did you see how my right leg immediately went back? Also, I'm getting dizzy. I get dizzy really fast. It's gonna be hard. Your right foot will go back to start the next 4 count, basically. So let me count it out for you. So be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's like no time in between to like hang out, catch up. It just keeps going in a fluid motion. Again, it's easier with a partner, but it's okay and fun to practice turns on your own. It's like really good to know. Some people obviously in like professional dancing will do what's called spotting, right? Like they'll pick a spot on the wall or a point of reference to like look at. So when they do this, it helps with that dizziness and like me like not falling everywhere because you're again kind of spotting. So I'm looking at something on my window. I'm gonna try spotting to like stay, keep my frame and come back to the central point. We'll see if it helps. So, not too bad. It's okay, I still feel dizzy. I get dizzy so easily. back, left all the way around, right back. That was good, the spotting was good that time. Ready? Back, left, way around, together. I'm so much better. I have a much better focal point. I'm looking at a picture of a sunflower. That might help. Okay, so we have some pasos básicos para la salsa to dance. Again, maybe I'll put on some music and you can try any combination of those. When we have the turn incorporated, again, you just have to keep time. If you ever get lost, just start over again, just keeping time with the counting. But when you finish your turn again, remember, you're coming out of it with the right foot going right back into that starting over move. Okay, so you can go back, front, and then the 8 count is done. Or if you started it on the second half of 8, you're starting your 4 count again. So just keep time, do whatever you like, and I'll catch you at the finish line. So I hope you had fun with our kind of improv at home salsa lesson. Can't wait to be doing dancing socially distanced when we are back in school. Keep up the good work.